I don't know if this is your own theory or if it's just like implanted in your brain from all the other hate videos. There was never a bonus. I never spoke to these losers about a bonus. If you're gonna be a hater-ass bitch, take it the full way. By the way, the background is a work in progress, so you can just tune that out. Today, I'm going to be doing the thing that everyone tells you not to do, and that is feed the trolls. One of the more important things that I want to talk about is my relationship with Anissa. I love Anissa. I love everything about her. I've only grown to love her more with time, and a lot of people online don't see it that way. For me, it's very obvious. I thought more people would be able to catch on. I am quiet, stoic, not talkative. She is the opposite of that. She is loud, very talkative, social. People struggle to understand that dynamic, I think, especially me being a person who has made a career of talking online. So yes, Anissa will oftentimes, like in many relationships, be the more talkative one. We've been together for nearly 10 years, and all of it has been online for the public to see, and there are still people accusing her of cheating, accusing me of being in an abusive relationship. None of this is true, and there is no evidence for any of this except, like, I guess, body language experts coming on and being like, iDubbbz is being stoic here, therefore he's in hell.
Okay, hang on. Watch the change there. Watch the change.
I don't know what the fuck that was. I have never gotten.
Look at Ian in this moment. Oh my God.
Like, he looks sad. No, he is disgusted at her. He's depressed. He's so disgusted
Working
by this.
on.
He looks disgusted with this.
He looks so uncomfortable. He's like, should I be here? He looks so uncomfortable. Look at this guy's body language. He doesn't want to be there.
Look how miserable he looks. Dude, he looks miserable. Dude, he looks like he wants to kill himself.
I mean, I kind of want to kill myself now. Okay, so they're not a fan of the resting bitch face. All right, well, I'm not going to smile all the time, fellas. And even when I smile, you guys still, like, contort it into he's so uncomfortable or he's smiling through the pain.
Burn.
Oh, he's so uncomfortable.
No.
He's smiling on his face.
What?
But inside his eyes, you can see his pain.
For some reason, well, not for some reason, for the reason of sexism and people's view on OnlyFans and them just not liking Anissa, they want to push forward a narrative that she is actively and continually cheating on me. And if you listen to freaks like this guy I'm about to show, it makes sense why. They are obsessed.
Anissa wants to have sex into having sex with Anissa. I think he wants to bang Anissa. Anissa was horny and wanted to have sex with this therapist. Well, Anissa figured herself to it.
Yep. Do you think that makes her pussy wet?
Buddy,
Did
was she getting
stop?
plowed?
That's what I'm saying.
What we're describing here is two grown men who are fantasizing about a stranger and his wife and what they do in the bedroom or don't do in the bedroom. That is creepy, weirdo shit.
And here we have iDubbbz with the bull, folks. There's iDubbbz with the bull.
He's using sexualized terms to describe a picture of me and my dog. And what are we doing? So many people will tell Anissa and I of just like, don't feed into the hate. And it's like, okay, we're going to post some normal stuff. Anissa posts just me with a picture of my dog, and this is the type of commentary we get about it.
iDubbbz with the bull. Gorgeous Gabe plowed her in the back room of the salon. 3-hour bukkake session with all of the male stylists.
If you're curious about the hairdresser these guys are talking about, I will point you to my disgraced boxing coach, Michael Briggs. For some reason, this stupid fucking loser and his dumb as rocks wife decided to go on the H3 podcast. They already spilled their guts. They were getting paid like $5,000 to go on this podcast.
I'm going to be sending you guys $5,000 for the bonus that you never got.
I think they were maybe afraid that they wouldn't get the money if they didn't thoroughly trash us. So them maybe thinking that they weren't trashing us hard enough, Michael Briggs decided to invoke the name of one of his presumably friends and say that Anissa was like thirsting after him.
She definitely had a big crush on one of the guys that would come in and spar with them, because anytime they would spar, she would just be super into it and watch every moment. Yeah, even if he would like beat Ian up, she'd be very into it.
For whatever it's worth, every time Michael Briggs, my disgraced boxing coach, would reference Gabe, he would always refer to him as Gorgeous Gabe. He couldn't help but refer to him as Gorgeous Gabe on the podcast.
I would call him Gorgeous Gabe.
He's a beautiful guy.
Yeah, he's got tattoos. He's large. He's tan.
I don't call him that. My wife doesn't call him that. If you have some unresolved sexual tension or fantasies, whatever the fuck it is, you need to keep that shit to yourself and not project it onto other people. I wish the best to Gabe. Michael Briggs, on the other hand, absolute fucking creep weirdo. Now, I know a lot of this is very grotesque and obsessive. I would prefer if people didn't talk about me and my wife or other people in this way. I briefly want to talk about the concept of being a lol cow, because these fucking losers, they love the concept of like labeling someone a lol cow and then like bullying them and watching their life spiral out of control. They won't, say as much. They'll just be like, yeah, we just do it for laughs. The whole thing's entertainment. It's just just innocent guys just having a laugh. Thankfully, Anissa and I are in a much safer and privileged position than many other people who are the targets of guys like this who want to bully them into submission. So now I want to look at two different clips from these guys. There is the fat one and his cohort who are listening to Anissa describe, like, essentially having a hard time online, seeing people mock and make fun of her dad with Alzheimer's.
They were laughing at my dad for getting sick on some of these forums.
What did you think? What did you think? Because you shared it online?
Yeah.
I mean, like, that's what people are going to do because they want to get a reaction out of you.
Yeah.
I don't think they probably even really believe the stuff that they're saying, but they know because it's extreme and like edgy that it will cause you mentally spiral like this. So that's why they do it. And you're telling them that it affects you. So guess what? They're going to keep doing it. This is how the internet works. It shouldn't be, but that's how it is.
The whole time, he is not saying that he is a perpetrator of bullying her. What he's saying is that other people are doing that. But he is doing it actively. In this video, he is bullying Anissa. And in other videos, he's literally bullied and made fun of her dad who has Alzheimer's.
With a late-stage dementia patient who is a extremist Muslim, and he sees his daughter covered in tattoos, married to iDubbbz the cuck, and he just freaks the out. iDubbbz is having to take him on walks through the neighborhood, talk to this demented guy.
So this is something that he's very familiar with. But for some reason, in this moment, he refuses to take any ownership of the fact that he is part of the problem.
Like, that's what people are going to do because they want to get a reaction out of you. So that's why they do it. And you're telling them that it affects you.
He doesn't want to admit it. And it makes you wonder why. And we get a little window into that at the end of the clip.
This is how the internet works. It shouldn't be, but that's how it is.
He says in this moment, it shouldn't be. Why the fuck do you think he says it shouldn't be? Could that be because it's wrong and it's a mean, evil thing to do? To acknowledge that someone is suffering and deciding that you are going to attack them online continuously for the thing that they are, either insecure or struggling with? It's plain as day that he's part of the problem, but he fucking refuses, like a coward does, to take any responsibility for him being part of the problem. I don't think a lot of these commentary channels want to be held to a higher standard. I think they want to comment on the strategy of things, and they don't want to reveal too much of their own morals or principles. This next guy is the perfect example of what I'm describing. He is being very critical of me talking to a therapist. And by the way, that wasn't even a therapy session. I just happened to cry in that moment, and I was like, this might be able to communicate authenticity, so I'll include it.
And then Ian goes on a podcast with a therapist and gets extremely real with him, which is a profoundly stupid idea. Like eating with your mouth full on camera. He of all people should know better than to go on a therapist's podcast and vent about his very real problems on a public forum like that, because people will use that information against him. like this.
This same person live streamed his own therapy session where he actually cried.
If you're going to be a hater ass bitch, take it the full way. Take responsibility for having the opinion that crying online is pathetic and weak. Don't say I am the enlightened centrist and other people are going to make fun of you for that.
Because people will use that information against him.
People will use the information against me. Who's people? I'm pretty sure you're people. You're the one who's playing this fucking clip. You're the one who's making this video called the most toxic wife. I don't know why these fucking pussies don't accept the full troll mask. They're acting as if being sincere is impossible to do online. It's not impossible. It's difficult in the situation that Anissa and I are in, but we're making that choice intentionally. So you making this bold claim that we are like unaware what happens when Anissa talks about her dad who has Alzheimer's or me crying, like we're very aware that that is going to be viewed as gay and be made fun of by people like you. Now I'm going to react to a couple of these random creators who have made videos or statements about Anissa and I, just to give you a taste of what an average is. And additionally, like in making some of those videos, it just attracts a certain type of person where they're like, I'm going to list off a bunch of people I consider lolcows or people who are mentally like disabled. And I'm going to tell you to make fucking documentaries about them. And then in that case, like, I'm not fucking doing that. You seeing that happen right now with World of T-shirts. There's a lot of people who think they're like doing it responsibly or respectfully. And it's just hell. It's just like, what the f is any of this shit?
Bro, what is going on? Anissa legitimately convinced him his entire being as a person is bad.
Did I once say my entire being is bad? You're allowed to be critical of yourself and the content you're making. You would benefit from being a little critical of the content you're making. Like, what the fuck is this? Like, actually comment on what I was talking about. Do you agree or disagree with a statement that you should be making videos and documentaries about people who are mentally disabled because you are encouraged by your fan base to do so? Do you agree with that? Maybe engage with the prompt.
And fellas, and even fellettes, all right? Never, just listen up, all right? Never let your partner actually change you this much. Never let them convince you that you are so bad as a person, like everything you do, the way you act, everything you believe is bad, and you must agree to their way of life, everything they do. Obviously,
why do you think that she thinks everything I do is bad? I'm like, man, these people have fucking drank the Kool-Aid to a disgusting degree.
Obviously, if there's legitimate criticism taken into account or whatever, but this is legitimately tragic. He cannot be proud of a single thing he's ever done in his entire life. He just feels guilty about all of it because of Anissa.
Dude, I'm proud of plenty of things. I'm not just going to go on stream and declare it. Like, what do you, like, it's so boring. Like, I don't want to talk about how proud I am of making the Airsoft Fatty documentary. Like, do you guys really need me to fucking bloviate about how I really enjoyed following the narrative structure of a fatty battling with his friends in Battle Creek?
It was my opinion that some of your content in the past was actually good before. It was actually logical. You made some good points. You don't need to feel so bad about every single thing. You know, maybe you did some bad shit. You said some slurs. That shit was bad. Whatever.
Dude, I know. I just... This is so frustrating. I just want to say, like, a lot of the things that I'm going to talk about are going to be upsetting or they're going to be a downer to you because that's interesting. I don't know if it's because I have a higher threshold. It kind of feels like I do, right? A lot of the things that these commentators are commenting on is they're saying like, oh my gosh, that would crush me, basically, if my wife described me in that way or said that about me. And it's like, okay, it would hurt you. You're feeling bad through me. You think that I'm feeling those same feelings that you're feeling. I'm not.
A lot of like good shit to your content as well. You're legitimately, fighting against like evil people and shit like that.
Because I'm sensing this guy as being his own version of sincere, because I honestly think, I don't know how old this guy is, but I'm going to say a teenager. a teenage commentary YouTuber, I'm going to say that their version of sincere is going to look very different than mine. I'll take what I can get right now from this guy. When I'm giving my actual authentic take about something, you don't need to put the blame on my wife. You don't need to say that she's controlling me. This is very off base. People who are in relationships, they communicate, they talk. This is just the reality of getting in a relationship and becoming more enmeshed. Like it happens. You know, if we eventually have a kid together, like, it's very important that we're on the same page and that we communicate. I know it might feel like you have some outsider insight, but it is just very wrong. I feel very free to speak my truth. Yeah, I agree, Bri.
Do you want to know why this shit makes me so mad? Because there was a point in time back in OnlyFans season 1 where I was like, dude, iDubbbz is the fucking man. Such a chill guy. So down to earth. Loved meeting him in real life. Loved playing games with him. This guy was the fucking man.
I think Tectone is remembering this in a kind of a weird way. It seems like he's very nostalgic and happy about it. He's being very over the top of how epic I was. But by this time, everyone had like decided that Aneesa controls my life and that I'm a beta male soy cuck boy. So it actually is very funny that he's coming out now saying like, man, he was the man just 2 years ago. It's like, dude, the fucking cat was out of the bag 2 years ago. Also, it's weird because I didn't play games with him other than we were in the same guild. I don't know. I think he's just trying to add on to this narrative that the internet likes of, man, he used to be so awesome. He was so cool. And then he fucking got corrupted by that fucking bitch.
He was one of my favorite content creators of all time. And to see that this is what he became. I mean, this guy inspired me to do content. Like, my breakdowns on people's entire character was inspired by iDubbbz. And it's so lame. Like, to see what one woman's pussy and Hassan can do to a motherfucker is insane to me. And if he just would have remained true to himself, he wouldn't have ended up this husk of a man he is today, and probably would have way more viewers and wouldn't having to be making content that he hates for money. It's just...
This is such fucking cope, man. Like, hearing Tectone say it, it's just like, it's reminding me how many times I've heard this fucking script. These people cannot fathom that the based epic N-word guy has changed his mind over time. It's got to be a woman's pussy or Hassan. I think if they accept that I came to that decision on my own, they have to reckon with some demons of their own. Like, it's hard to accept the fact that I've taken this journey and it's not one I regret. It's actually one that I've felt better after doing.
And Tectone is right. This guy is such a disappointment. Like, iDubbbz calling people incels when the first woman he met literally destroyed, like, took over his life and destroyed him, dude.
I don't know if this is your own theory or if it's just, like, implanted in your brain from all the other hate videos, but Aneesa is not the first person or not the first woman I've met. I've met plenty of other women. She's certainly not the first woman I've dated, and certainly not the first woman I've had sex with. But I will admit that she is the first woman I married. Also, there are a lot of grown men out there who were outraged to find out that I changed my last name from Washburn to Jama when I married Aneesa.
Who took his wife's last name, taking Aneesa's last name, taking your wife's last name.
He's taken her last name.
His last name?
The last name, the story. Okay. Oh, yeah, there's so many. I forgot.
I think some of these people think I'm trying to push a woke agenda or some shit, but I don't give a fuck what anyone does with their own last names. This is what I chose to do because I like her last name better. When my rancid boxing coach and his wife decided to go on the H3 podcast as like this mutual exchange of talking shit about Aneesa and I in exchange for $5,000, that was sort of under the premise that I owed them some sort of bonus money.
Yeah, I mean, like, we were also promised a bonus on CC1 and we never got it. But because Michael was so nice, he didn't want to, like, make Ian feel uncomfortable and ask Ian and Aneesa about it.
And I was always under the assumption that there was no bonus because even though he told me there was a bonus, He then disappeared for 6 months and I never saw him. So I was like, was there a bonus or was there not a bonus?
There was never a bonus. I never spoke to these losers about a bonus. I was paying these people an hourly rate to do the job that I asked for them to do, and they got paid. This fucking loser with the beard got paid $32,000 for training an influencer to box, and she got paid $9,000 to film some of it. They conveniently never talked to either one of us about it.
You confronted about that? You asked them, or you didn't want to
I just let it be.
Because I'm the same.
They conveniently don't have any text messages or emails or contracts that have anything to do with bonus money because that conversation didn't happen. They are lying to Ethan and his crew, and they're lying to the audience.
How is it that we put on this great event? We raised $1.3 million for charity, and he promised us a bonus. And then right after the event, he just kind of pretend like he's too busy to check in with us.
Too busy to check in with you? I don't need to fucking check in with you. You're not my parents. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You weren't promised a bonus. I was doing my own shit. Why the fuck would I want to spend my time with you when I'm filming a show with Dax Flame? You guys are fucking losers.
You confronted about that? You asked them, or you didn't want to
I just let it be.
Because I'm the same.
If it was promised to you, if this imaginary bonus was promised to you, that should give you a lot of confidence to at least say, bonus? That's potentially a lot of money for you, you know, in this fictional scenario where you were promised a bonus. Surely it makes sense to at least inquire if it was promised to you, right? Because I'd been consistently paying you day after day for all the work you were doing. So if I never missed a payment for you and your wife and a bonus was promised at some point, then don't you think it would be pretty fucking obvious and apparent that you should text me, hey, what about that bonus? Of course, but there was no bonus because you're fucking lying. Like, fuck these crooked people. They came on this podcast, they used this bonus thing as some sort of like weird exchange of like, yeah, we can't go on the podcast and just talk blatant shit about our clients. So what we're instead going to do is pretend like we were stiffed by our clients after they promised us a windfall of cash. There's so many other truthful things that they could have focused on the podcast that would have made me look like a bitch to a certain, you know, sector of the internet. One of those things being me crying after a tough sparring session. Like, that's truthful.
Did you say he cried?
We had to have a meeting.
So after that, he was crying at the gym.
It's okay to cry, but it's not okay for him to cry. Now, to the crew of the H3 podcast, I have something important to say. I think you are all pieces of shit. All right, everyone, that is going to do it for this episode of iDubbbz Complains. If you want to hear me complaining live in your ears, particularly today, if you're watching this video the day it comes out, go and check out my Twitch live stream. I'll put a link in the description. I am going to be reacting to the H3 podcast where my rat coach and his rat wife are being nasty rats together. So go give it a watch, give it a listen. And I'll, probably for the rest of this month, I will be reacting to shit and, I don't know, fucking stirring the pot. So thank you for watching, everyone. Bye.